Hi, my name is LAKESHA BYRD, and I'm at Liberty University, and I'm taking up an interpersonal communication class, which is HSCO 508. Today I will be telling you a little bit about myself, my personal barriers, my introduction, and I will also tell you a little bit about my overarching goal. So, in my table of contents, I will have my introduction, my overarching goals, my background, my potential barriers, my identifying solutions, and my action plan. Okay, so what is an overarching goal? Overarching goal is to communicate while expressing empathy and understanding of integrity. I will also want to connect with others while being open and inspiring them to express their own thoughts and their own opinions. I will use effective listening skills such as active listening with all senses, giving my full undivided attention while maintaining good eye contact, nodding my head and letting the speaker know that I'm interested. I will be very supportive, provide feedback, and I will be non-judgmental throughout the whole conversation. Always reflect back on what the teaching of Christ, love and kindness for us all. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. So, I will say, what is enlarging the conversation? There's a direct link between the quality of your communication and the quality of your life. I would say mindful listening requires you to see, hear, and feel with everything in you. Empathetic listening requires 3 skills, which are focusing, encouraging, and reflecting, according to Stewart. Enlarging a conversation can also preserve an honest, open communication and a relationship. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a little bit about LAKESHA and my background, which is I'm a 32-year-old African-American female. I was born and raised in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I graduated from Forsyth Tech Community College with an associate's in medical office administration. I graduated also from Winston-Salem State University with a bachelor's in therapeutic recreation. My hobbies are shopping, watching TV, playing with my nieces and nephews, and reading the Bible. My goal in the next 5 years is to own my own group home and hopefully to be a success. What is the role of listening? Listening is a very important process in either inhaling or exhaling. In exhaling, it helps us as the individual understand the information that is relied. Therefore, it assists us in encoding a message in accordance to what is being said. So therefore, it helps the communication be relevant and easily understood. So on the other hand, listening is important in exhaling because it allows an individual to communicate properly and the information that is relevant to the topic of the discussion. It is helpful to stabilize the conversation and the process. So, what was interesting to me in the interpersonal communication class to understand and get a hold of was the flat brain theory of emotions. Okay, so what is that? So according to Peterson, it says our stomachs expand with overload of mixed emotions. They pass the heart into bricks in our chest, sending off related abilities, and they're going south, which is interesting, right? So the upward expression flattens our brains, focusing our thinking and hearing on and seeing it makes it off. So when that happens, the flat brain, we can't hear, we can't see, or we can't think reasonably. So this causes our system to get all out of whack. So that way we won't even be able to know how to communicate. So then we go into how to improve our listening skills, right? So I would say we will have to practice critical thinking exercises, keep an open mind, which is always good. Be patient, be determined to listen, and to be able to learn. Understand the importance of effective listening, maintain good posture and eye contact, and also avoid distractions and disturbances. So then once we got into the behavior blend, what is behavior blend and what is the breakdown? So that's where the DICIS comes in at. The D is for active, task-oriented. The I is for active, people-oriented. The C is for passive, task-oriented. And the S is for passive, people-oriented. So, my behavior blend assessment. We were assigned to do a behavior assessment. So when I did mine, I became more familiar with my personality in certain areas with identifying empathy and that is basically essential to the good part of communication. And therefore, I will do my best to place myself in other people's shoes so that way I will understand a little better of what they're feeling. I also understand now why I'm always put in the lead role and why people always think that I need to take charge and do leading positions. As far as at work, I do aerobics class, and I'm always doing the lead job at doing that and interacting with my clients. So now I know, as they say in John 5:12, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I love you. So, what is a behavior blend? A lot of people didn't know because I didn't know. So, a behavior blend is when human beings have difficult personalities which define the characteristic of an individual. By understanding the behavior blends, meaning now I know why I do the things that I do and act the way that I act. So, in my everyday life and dealing with my spouse and others. My behavior blend is a DI which refers to me thinking people expect me to be both determined and inspirational. I feel that others want me to be more active and extrovert. However, I tend to be task and people-oriented, with always believing that people are wanting me to take charge, which I had said briefly. So now we're going to barriers. My number one barrier is being prejudiced and biased. So my remedy for that would be admit that you have a prejudice, basically admitting that you have a problem. And then now you have to figure out how to reduce that problem. You have to identify the stereotypes and reflect your prejudice and modify them. So then you identify the actions that's relevant to your prejudice and you modify them, and then you also use diverse friends. So on that second barrier, I would have to say when you are having a closed mind, you're not open to discussion, you're not ready to focus. So you focus it on positive. So the remedy for that, you have to focus on positive characteristics. Embrace the unknown. Don't say no and not try it until you understand how it might work. Say yes instead of no. Trying new hobbies is always a good one, and stepping out of your comfort zone. That's another good one. So then we go to barrier 3. So, okay, what is barrier 3? Barrier 3 is basically trying to listen to more than one conversation at a time, which always throws me out. So my remedy for that would be to basically focus on the individual. You give them your undivided attention. You ask questions to let them know that you are interested in the conversation. You maintain good eye contact and positive verbal skills, and saying yes by encouraging the speaker to let them know that you are definitely listening and give feedback. Then we're going to noise pollution. What is noise pollution? Noise pollution is any unwanted human-created sound that has the effect of being painful, hurtful, distracting, and anything that causes physical harm. And there are 2 types, internal and external. So examples of internal pollution would be our thoughts, our unshared ideas, plans on later hearing things rather than now, and physical barriers and emotions. And your solutions to internal include using clarifying techniques by repeating what the speaker has stated, being honest and respectful while giving your full attention, and continue to make eye contact with the speaker. So now we're going to external noises. What is external noises? External noises is when you hear loud noises or is uninviting room temperature and you can't get accustomed to it. And if the speaker is speaking loud enough, or if you can't hear, and other conversations that are distracting you and making you disturbance, and chewing gum. So solutions to that would be: do not hold anything while you are listening. Continue looking at the speaker and focusing on the conversations to show that you are attentive. And also, don't chew gum. So solutions to noise pollution is to stay close to the speaker, so that way you can hear. Close your doors if you need to. That way you can have, like shut out the external noises. If necessary, move the conversation to a place that maximizes safe and effective listening capabilities. Make sure the environment is suitable. Put the talker needs ahead of your own, and recognize objects that may interrupt your listening. And my worldview on that would be Isaiah 41:13. For I am the Lord, your God, who takes hold to your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. So my plan of action would be that I would practice the clarifying techniques. I would recall, recognize, and respond to the emotions and other techniques in order to minimize internal and external noises. I would recognize that I'm becoming frustrated when I'm becoming frustrated, and implement communications like talking and find my trigger buttons. Find out what makes me over easy. Evaluate and be critical with my content. And I'll also do a self-evaluation and reflect on all my traits of my communication in order to improve my techniques repeatedly. So I'm getting into my summary now. So the summary is basically a broad of all I have told you today. So for effective communication is critical. It's also healthy, and it has a long-lasting relationship. So by improving my attentive listening, I can be noble and a respected person I know I am. I can continue to encourage others to listen effectively and become supportive activists. So today I have discussed with you my interpersonal communication process, which included my overarching goals, a little bit about me, which is my background, some potential barriers, some internal and external noise pollution, and lastly, my plan of action. Thank you for listening, and God bless.